If you're a Casio fan, you will probably know who this man is. He is of course Kikuo Ibe, the father of G-Shock. Legend has it that he had the idea to create G-Shock after a mechanical watch his father gave him fell onto the ground and broke into many pieces, and the rest, they say, is history. We're not talking about G-Shocks today because he's also designed other watches during his time as a Casio engineer. You probably own some of these watches without realizing that the father of G-Shock also penned that watch in your collection. So here are 5 other watches designed by Kikuo Ibe that are not G-Shocks. At 5, the F94. What surprises me is that Casio pays as much attention to the design of their standard watches as they do for their higher up models. According to Mr. Ibe, they imagine what the watch will be like in 30 years time, and so they design it accordingly. As the F94 was first released in 1993, the design is now over 30 years old, and it still looks fresh in front of modern eyes. Also, according to him, delivering on a basic watch that has easy to use functions, that doesn't break easily, not going to become dated a few years down the line, and also for a low cost, is not an easy task. So for this reason, he also says that only highly experienced watchmakers get to work on the standard line over at Casio. The F94 is as basic as a Casio watch gets. It is a member of the F series, which stands for functional, and the features that you get with it reflects that. You only get a single daily alarm and hourly signal, a stopwatch that only counts up until 60 minutes, and a very basic backlight that's just good enough to use in the dark. It uses the same case and strap as the F91, but the module inside is different, being a 1071 module instead of the 593 module as used in the F91 and A518 and a couple of others. Developing a new module and only using it exclusively for one model is surprising, as module development is one of the highest costs when developing a new watch. I would describe the face design as clean because there is no repeating information printed, such as having both the water resist and WR symbol appearing at the same time. Also, the only concession to colour is the striking yellow highlighted text for the alarm chrono and water resist. Using yellow for the face plus moving the function indicators into a circle on the top right makes the F94 appear more playful than the strictly functional design of the F91. I'm not sure whether it was intentional, but the design is reminiscent of a radiation warning symbol. What do you think? One other advantage the F94 has over the F91 is in legibility. Even though the F91 already has excellent legibility, the F94 improves upon it. The digits used for the time and date are darker and thicker and has excellent viewing angles. 4 is the AW80, which was first released in 2003. If the F94 was the definition of a very basic Casio, the AW80 is the antithesis because it comes packed with features. It is an Anna-Digi model, and admittedly the design doesn't pull at your heartstrings upon first inspection, especially in the 1A variant as shown here. However, since it was first released, many variants and colorways have been released, and some of them look quite striking. Take a closer look at the design and you will appreciate the curved push buttons, which contours with the round case, almost appearing to be an integral part of it. I also like the way the 2 LED backlights are hidden underneath the chapter ring, so that it lights up the circumference of the whole watch when illuminated. There is a whole raft of features built into the AW80, which starts from around $30 US. It has world time, which includes 29 different time zones built in, 3 daily alarms, one of which is a snooze alarm, auto calendar until the year 2099, and both a stopwatch and countdown timer, which has a maximum duration of 24 hours. One unexpected feature that's more commonly found in Casio's databank range of watches is a tele-memo function. What this basically means is that the watch can store up to 30 names and telephone numbers. Although it doesn't have to be specifically telephone numbers, it could be used for passcodes and PIN numbers because nobody is going to suspect that important information is stored on the watch. And to top it off, the AW80 comes with a 10-year battery and is water resistant to 50 meters. At 3, the AQ230, first released in 1995. Although the AQ230 is not an original design from Kikuo Ibe, his redesign of the AQ200 from 1982 has won many fans, and the AQ230 is often to be found in the top 10 bestsellers in today's current lineup. His reinterpretation retains the classic elegance of the original watch, and the proportions and materials used have been changed slightly in order to make it fit in with today's production standards. The dial is clearly laid out, and both the dial and digital section are easy to read as the hands never cross over the LCD display. Over the years, many variants and editions have been released, some of which cost more than others, but you can spend as little as £25 like I did for this black dial variant. At 8.1mm deep, it is one of the thinnest Casios currently made and slips under the cuff easily. The two pushers on the left are used for changing the watch's operation and adjusting the digital time, while the single button on the right is used for adjusting the analog hands. Simplicity itself. The features that you get with the AQ230 includes dual time, a stopwatch, daily alarm and hourly indicator, and is water resistant for everyday use. Inside the case is a 5154 quartz module, which has an accuracy rating of plus or minus 30 seconds a month. It is powered by a single SR920W battery, which should last 3 years on average. I think that another reason for the watch's enduring popularity is due to the case size, which measures 29.8mm in width, which makes it suitable for both men and women. At 2, the MQ24 from 1989. Before we talk about this watch, let's have a little quiz and ask you what the former Pope, Tyler the Creator, and a famous footballer have in common. You guessed it, they all wear the Casio MQ24. I find it ironic that while luxury Swiss watchmakers pay influencers hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to endorse their timepieces, Casio gets free publicity from celebrities choosing to wear this humble watch out of their own volition. The MQ24 is a very simple analog watch which doesn't even have a date window, and the only complication that it has is a seconds hand. Its popularity lies in the fact that it's relatively inexpensive. At around $20 you get a product that does exactly what it's supposed to, which is to tell the time accurately and will also last you a long time. Also, due to the fact that there are many colours available, some fans collect more than one. Current versions of the MQ24 have a band made of bio-based resin and use a 1330 quartz module that's made by Miyota. Number 1 is the AE1000 from 2010. If you know your Casio watches, you will immediately see the similarities between the AE1000 and the ever popular AE1200, which was released a couple of years later. That's because the AE1200 is essentially the AE1000, but in a square case. So not only is Mr. Ibe responsible for creating the G-Shock line, he is also indirectly responsible for creating the AE1200 Casio Royale. What I like about the AE1000's design is the level of detail that you only fully appreciate when looking closely. You'll notice the blue dot patterns behind the digits on the LCD, the horizontal lines and coloured text printed on the faceplate. Even the bezel is adorned with the knurling pattern on the sides. Overall, the 45mm wide case feels solidly built and has a water resistance rating of 100 meters. On the wrist it feels confident and you can sense the connection to G-Shock coming through. The AE1000 uses a quartz 3198 module which is powered by a CR2025 battery which should last for 10 years on average. Its features include world time from 48 cities, 5 daily alarms, and both the stopwatch and countdown timer that it has have a maximum duration of 24 hours. So those were 5 standard Casios designed by Kikuo Ibe, the creator of G-Shock. Does it surprise you that he is also responsible for these watches, and do you have any of these in your collection? Until next time, take it easy.